Welcome to Tabletop Battle Adventures D-Day 0630 hours, turn 13. Gonna go straight into the German deployment on Omaha Beach. The 916th Infantry Regiment of the 352nd Infantry Division. turn13 still in German hands, held by the 6th Fallschirmjäger. Sixth Fallschirmjäger also holds both bridges leading into turn13, and the river lock is open and flooding the fields. The 1058th Grenadier platoon holds this bridge here, and it's rigged with explosives. Now we'll get into the 916th Infantry Regiment platoon that's going to be defending. This is their deployment area, anywhere on the entire Omaha Beach. It's elevated. The Germans will deploy all of their units on the battlefield anywhere they want. There are tunnels that lead from different defensive positions. There'll be 2 tunnels, and the U.S. 743rd Tank Battalion, 1 company, 2nd Rangers, C Company, and 1 platoon from 116th Infantry Regiment, A Company. They will be attacking from this side. They'll be able to advance from off table, headed toward an awful open beach. But once they get up the beach, there is the high tide cover from the beach wall. It's still going to be hell to take this beach and then to take but against just 1 platoon of the 916th Infantry Regiment for the Germans, and 1 platoon, 116th, a whole company of 2nd Rangers, plus the 743rd, 1 company from the 743rd Tank Battalion. It's going to be inevitable U.S. victory, but we'll see what the Germans can do. Well, let's start the deployment for the Germans. Before I forget, so 1 tunnel goes from right here through different colored dirt, and it goes underneath this road and comes up inside of this building, kind of on the other side of those two windows on the first floor. The other tunnel is inside of this bunker, and that tunnel goes under the road and comes up inside of this building in the center screen here. Any building that is a bunker will be only shots will only be able to hits will only be able to be landed on sevens. So this bunker here, this bunker here, these two round bunker. Well, those are more. No, probably just the ones with the roof. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bunkers, and I'm running these as bunkers as well. Any gray buildings will be bunkers. Any buildings that are not gray or that don't have covers will not be considered bunkers. And you see the trenches, the trench network definitely be covering all of these trenches here. When the infantry reaches the barbed wire, they'll have to clear a path through it, so it'll take one turn to set the explosives, and the following turn they'll be able to blow a hole through the barbed wire. You can see there's one strand of barbed wire running right here at the beach wall where the high tide comes into, all the way across. And a second strand of barbed wire here. Some barbed wire separating this trench. Barbed wire protecting the bunkers. There's a barbed wire running along here. Hopefully that's showing up okay. All the way across. And then some barbed wire here. And the last string of barbed wire running up here. So some spots you'll have to get through 3 strands of barbed wire. Some spots 2. It's going to be hell for these U.S. forces. And it's quite elevated hill. It's going to be challenging. There's some other special rules that we'll go over, but for tonight we'll just deploy the Germans. That'll probably be what we get through tonight. And then I'll go over the rules before we pull the first dice from the bag. And by the way, there's 100 U.S. order dice between Omaha Beach table and the hedgerows and Carentan table. 100 U.S. order dice now in the bag, and 77 German order dice. I think that's the right numbers. Let's take a look. Biggest game of bolt action I've ever created. Let's deploy some Germans. First deployment for the 916th Infantry Division, 916th Infantry Platoon is the PAC 40. It's going to be in this bunker here. It's going to have pretty good coverage. You should be able to hit anything, even if it comes in way. Oh yeah, I thought about putting the 88 in that one, but I think the 88 I want to have Yeah, more coverage than the Pack 40. So that's where we're going to put the Pack 40. Right there. Oh, yeah. Next, the 88. Oh, hell. It's going to be nasty. Heavy mortar, medium mortar. Sniper positioned on the balcony. Will be hidden. Second sniper positioned here in the tower. Flamethrower team positioned to cover the backside of this bunker with the Pack 40 in it. It's going to be awful assaulting this beach. All of these units that I'm deploying are all either a part of the platoon of the 916th Infantry Regiment or they're attached to it in the case of the Pack 40 and the 88. We have the 3-man forward observer team. They're going to be able to see out all the windows of the second floor. Call in artillery and mortar support all along the beach. Nine 916th Platoon Sergeant will deploy here. Right about there, you should be able to activate the 2 mortars, plus also deploying in the tower will be the forward observer. Actually, he's more of a radio operator spotter, but he'll be deployed there next to the sniper. And Platoon Sergeant, 916th, behind the building. Platoon Commander, the First Lieutenant, the 916th, is going to deploy here in this small bunker with his radio operator. And that's also the tunnel entrance is inside of this bunker, and it leads over into this bunker. So I think he'll deploy there in order to be able to, after the preparatory bombardment and after we see where the U.S. forces are going to concentrate in their attack, then we can either move them by tunnel over to this side to be able to support the platoon sergeant and this flank, or they can stay here and still have a good view of the beach in order to call in fire on the beach, at least on this side. The Goliath team NCO and the operator and assistant will deploy on the first floor of this building. I think that's the best spot because the tanks have to come, they have to get off the beach eventually through this small gap here and then up the road and leading inland. So I think it's the perfect ambush spot from that first floor. Roll the Goliath out of the door. First tank that comes through, blow to smithereens, hopefully. Okay, as I mentioned, there's a bunker that leads from the furthest part of this bunker under the road to this small bunker there at the top, center screen. So the platoon commander, the first lieutenant, will not be in that bunker. He will actually be underground at just inside of the bunker here. So this crooked L shape here represents the tunnel. I measured it and everything. That's how long it is. So I could tell how long it takes the soldiers to get through the tunnel from one side to the other. So the LT is going to start there. And then instead of the Goliath team, they're going to be in the tunnel as well. They're in the lower tunnel. Instead of being in the first floor of this building, center screen, they'll start out in the bunker where they won't get hit by that preparatory bombardment. Don't need them till the tanks hit the beach anyways. And the Panzerschreck team is going to be at the opposite end of the tunnel. So the Panzerschreck team is positioned somewhere just inside of this tunnel entrance. The Goliath team is about under the road there before this building. And the lieutenant's just about under the road as well. I thought about putting all the Germans into tunnels, but then by the time I moved them all the way to their positions, the U.S. forces will have already moved up, probably at least up to the high tide mark here, the beach wall, and then the Germans will have no chance to be able to slow them down. So I think only units that will start in the tunnels are the units that are going to be used against tanks mostly, and units that their positions are at the end of the tunnels. Anyways, next unit. 2-man team for the first section. They're equipped with anti-tank mines, one with an SMG and one with a rifle. And they're from the 916th first section. They're going to deploy in the first floor of this building. Second floor of the same building, 916th first section LMG team will set up. Great view of the beach. The first section assistant leader with his SMG, he's going to start on the balcony. He'll be hidden behind the walls there. So, on second thought, the first section assistant leader will start out in the building next to the LMG team. First section AT rifle team will start in this bunker. We're going to try to get in the spot where they'll be able to shoot the U.S. tanks as they try to head through the minefields and through these barricades here up the road. I think it's a good spot. First section leader and the first section 2-man anti-tank mine team. One's got a mine sweeper, but they're both here to lay mines and blow up tanks. Anyways, so the first section leader and the 2-man anti-tank mine team are also going to start in the trench, in the in the tunnels next to the Panzerschreck team, which will be just inside of this tunnel, about near the road, but clearly under the earth, safe, so they can come out and raise hell on the tanks that will be trying to pass through here from the 743rd. Third section, MMGS, will start in this bunker here. Not on the roof, but inside, but, well, the model doesn't fit inside, so it is inside and yet on the roof. And then the third section, MMGW, will start in this bunker, covering the beach basically on this side here. And MMGS will be able to cover any infantry that tries to sneak up behind these bunkers. third section leader will start out in the bunker as well with the MMGS team. Here in this bunker with the MMGW team, we will have the sniper from third section and the third section assistant leader and one man with him, also starting out in the bunker. Might as well put everybody in the bunker. Oh, speaking of, also the platoon sergeant of the 916th Infantry will start not outside there, but just inside the first floor of this bunker. Observation bunker. Pretty much going to deploy everyone's going to be in bunkers except for the sniper there on the roof and the forward observer team that's in the second floor. Yes, and the soldiers here from, I believe, first section, LMG gunner, first section leader, I believe, and the two-man anti-tank mine team in the first floor. So those are pretty much the only units that are not in a bunker. These bodies are, oh, this is a bunker yet not covered, so yeah, it looks like everybody else is starting in a bunker. Wise with the preparatory bombardment. Second section, LMG team, will position themselves in the ruins. Second section, two-man team, one with the Sturm pistol, the other one with the SMG. They're going to start out in the tunnel right next to the first section leader, the Panzerschreck team, and the first section anti-tank mine team. While the man down in the tunnel, and then the lieutenant, platoon commanders, is all by himself in the other tunnel. Two-man team from second section will start out in this bunker here. Also, second section assistant leader will start out in this bunker also. Second section leader will start out in this bunker here. Second section flamethrower team will start out in this building back here in the back, kind of as a reserves. It's going to start them up here, but we've already got LMG team in the ruins, LMG team on the second floor, plus a NCO from first section, plus a two-man SMG team on the first floor. I want to have everything forward, so I have this flamethrower in reserve here. And that will take care of the 916th Grenadier Regiment platoon deployment. That's 31 order dice. And going up against one platoon of the 116th Infantry Regiment, one from Company a full platoon from the Company C's 2nd Rangers, and a company of tanks from the 743rd Tank Battalion. It's not gonna. These Germans are not gonna be enough to stop them, but they should be able to do some damage. And that's gonna wrap it up for me tonight here on D-Day. 0630 hours, turn 13. Next time we will start pulling dice from the bag. 100 US order dice, 77 German order dice. Excited. It's going to be epic. I kind of want to deploy another platoon of Germans, so it'd be a little more even, but I think historically the Germans really were outgunned and outmanned on this Omaha Beach invasion. But they do have some good strong positions. The U.S. forces are going to have to work hard to get up this beach and then through the obstacles. And all the Germans are going to start out in mostly all in bunkers. It'll take them a little bit of time to get out of the bunkers and get in position, other than the unit starting in these ruined building here, here, and here. But the rest of the 916th Grenadiers are going to be in bunkers and hidden. Well, they're all going to be hidden even in the non-bunker structures. But all right, see you next time.